you ever suffered from anxiety, self-doubt, and worry in building your business, thinking that people will find out you're a fraud? If this is you, you might suffer from imposter syndrome. That's what we're going to talk about today. I can't wait. I love this topic. It's something that every entrepreneur that I know struggles with at times. I'm Dr. Barrientez, the founder of the Max Potential Habits podcast. I'm your host, and this is your place to learn tips, tools, strategies, and hear inspirational interviews to help you optimize your habits so you can thrive in your life and business. So let's get to it. Imposter syndrome. So in 1970, psychologists Dr. Pauline Clance and Dr. Suzanne Imes started researching a psychological phenomenon that we know today as imposter syndrome. The Harvard Business Review defines imposter syndrome as a collection of feelings of inadequacy that persist despite evident success. I'll say it again. A collection of feelings of inadequacy that persist despite evident success. This is a really powerful process that people psychologically go through when they feel like frauds. So an article published in the International Journal of Behavioral Science called The Imposter Syndrome highlights the cycle. They call it an imposter cycle, and I really like this visualization, and I'll describe it to you. So it starts with a task. So we're going to look at business building, right? So most of you here are business builders and entrepreneurs. So we're going to look at you start building your business, and in that process you develop anxiety, self-doubt, and worry. So what you start to do behaviorally is over-prepare or procrastinate for the task at hand. Let's say whatever business it is you're building, you think that you need to be a hyper expert and know everything. So you over prepare for what you're doing. Before you even want to get started, you think that it needs to be perfect in order for you to do what you need to do. So it holds you back and limits you. Or you simultaneously or alternatively procrastinate. So perfectionism often causes procrastination. So you do both of these things, but because you're a high achiever, you still end up accomplishing what you set out to accomplish. It just comes with a lot of anxiety and fear and doubt. And you have a momentary sense of relief, so you get a little bit of positive feedback from the outside world, which is what a lot of people with imposter syndrome or who struggle with these aspects are looking for. They're looking for external validation. So they get the external validation, which gives them a little bit of relief, but they discount the positive feedback. So people will tell them, "You're awesome, your work mattered, this helped me so much, thank you so much for knowing what you know," on and on and on, but you discount it. And you think that it was somehow just luck, and you associate all those accomplishments, stumbling over my words today. You associate the accomplishments with outside factors instead of yourself. So the feelings of inadequacy, even though there's evidence of your success. And then you perceive yourself as a fraud, which increases your self-doubt, your depression, and your anxiety. And then that cycle starts all over again with new projects that you're taking on, new businesses that you're building, and that's the imposter cycle. So some of the symptoms you might be experiencing if you feel like an imposter are pressure, increased pressure. So you have a lot of anxiety, you have a lot of self-doubt. When you're taking on a new project, you really wonder if you're capable of doing it. You worry what other people will think. You minimize your accomplishments. You minimize yourself. You minimize your efforts. You minimize when people say you're doing a great job. You have feelings of being found out or discovered. Like if you don't over prepare, you worry that you won't be able to answer the questions, that people will think you're stupid. And so you over prepare so that you can answer every question instead of just showing up and saying, "I don't know the answer, I'll figure it out." This is a form of perfectionism and self-doubt, obviously. And I look at it in this way of, it's kind of like victim blame, like where when we get into a victim mindset, we blame the whole outside world for our reality. Similarly, in imposter syndrome, we credit our accomplishments to the outside world. So it's similar to that victim mindset where we think that our reality is created by other people. So we're seeking their praise, we're seeking their approval, we're trying to be perfect and fit in. And if they don't give that to us, we feel like imposters. But even when they do give it to us, we can't acknowledge and accept the compliments or the accomplishment in and of itself. So those are some symptoms that you might be experiencing. I want to help you with 6 strategies to let go of imposter syndrome. So number 1, stay connected to your why and your vision. This is so important. If you are connected to your why and your vision, then you know that the hows will take care of themselves. You trust yourself more, and you get inspired by doing what's in alignment with your highest values. I call it tapping into your genius juice. So if you're in your genius juice zone of genius, you're less worried about what other people think. This takes you cultivating your why, cultivating your vision, and staying on track and reminding yourself what it is every day so that you see obstacles as on the way instead of in the way. So when you start to have that self-doubt come in, you go, oh, that's okay. I can conquer this because I know my why. I know my vision. Number 2, apply the NFA screw perfection mindset. I love this one, and I did it a lot when I started building my business because I would get stuck in this perfectionist state where I thought everything needed to be perfect. I needed to know everything before I could get started. And so I started to use this mantra, screw perfection, just get going. And I still use it all the time. I released something the other day on my Facebook. It was like my new header, and it had a typo in it, and it was up for 24 hours before and it was on LinkedIn too. And it was up for 24 hours before I even noticed it. And I was like, oh my gosh, how hilarious. And the old me would have beat the shit out of myself. I would have been like, oh my God, how could I do that? People must think I'm an idiot, on and on and on. And so I was like, screw perfection, whatever, not a big deal. You know, I work on these things. Your mindset is a habit. Work on your mindset and use the screw perfection mantra. Number 3. Is this belief true, or am I making up a story? I want you to ask yourself, is this belief true, or am I making up a story? I promise you'll find that your belief system is limiting and that you have a history of a lot of success. You wouldn't be where you are today if you didn't have successes. So I want you to start stacking in your mind your past successes so that you can see that it's a story you're making up. If people are telling you that you're helping them in some way, that you're providing a solution that matters, then you're not an imposter, right? So you're hyper-focusing on your doubt and your fear and your anxiety instead of seeing the evidence that you're actually making a difference and doing what you set out to do. Number 4, visualize past and future success. So visualization is so powerful, and in becoming a NFA master, you have got to visualize yourself being a badass. This means you're looking to your past for the evidence of your successes, and you're projecting into the future how successful you will be. This trains your mindset. We are in mindset training if we want to lead an incredible life, and it's a habit. Training is a habit. You're training yourself to see the best of yourself, to know that you're awesome, to know you're valuable, to know you're worthy, to know you're not an imposter. Number 5. Take consistent daily action. If you've been following me for a while, you've heard me say this so many times. As a NFA person, not fucking around, I am in constant daily action, consistent daily action, consistent strategic daily action. I hold a vision for what I want to create. I trust the universe to show me the hows, and I also take consistent daily action with a plan that I put in place while also knowing the plan might change. But I take consistent daily action because action kills fear. Action helps build a confidence loop where you know that you do follow through on doing what you say you're going to do. So take action to let go of your imposter syndrome. And last, have to say this one, get a mindset coach. I'm a mindset coach. I'm a mindset habits and vision coach for entrepreneurs and business builders. And I can't even begin to tell you how important it is to have a coach on your side. This could be, obviously, keep listening to the podcast. Enroll in online group coaching. I have an online group coaching program. We talk about mindset all the time. Enroll in one of my courses, work with me one-on-one, watch YouTube videos, be your own coach, learn strategies to master your mindset. But I cannot convey enough how important it is to have a coach who cheers you on and challenges you to grow and challenges you to overcome your bullshit limiting beliefs, which is what imposter syndrome is doing to you, and you're allowing it. So you've got this. You're awesome. Thanks for being here. I'll see you next week. Thanks so much for listening to this episode of the Max Potential Habits podcast. If you're liking what you've heard, it would be so incredibly awesome if you would subscribe to the channel and leave a 5-star rating and a written review. This helps me help more people while we grow our NFA community so we can rock it out together. For Max Potential Habits resources, go to nfacoaching.com where you can access all of my resources. There's free ebooks, PDF checklists, a journal template, a business mindset meditation kit, and so much more. Plus, links to NFA coaching on Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook. And if you're super serious about up-leveling, there's also a link to schedule a free consult to work with me in group or one-on-one coaching. Until next time, I hope you have a Max Potential Habits Day where you get inspired to do whatever it takes to transform into the most empowered version of yourself so you can lead a rich, thriving, kick-ass life and business.